right. So, hello everyone, you guys, and whoever's listening on YouTube. My name's John Lobdell. I'll be reading a little poetry, some of my own and some other people's. And I always like to start with a little body mind centering, which I do by rubbing my hands till they get warm and then putting them over my eyes. You could do that a couple more times. All right. I thought I admitted Ellen already. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Oops. Hi, Ellen. You're back on. Alrighty. So, I always like to start with a little poem I wrote. I wrote just one little tiny one this week. I've not been in a real writing mood lately. Let's see what I wrote. A little one. Almost like a little haiku. Walking along worrying, looked up at vibrant green trees. Now see life everywhere. All right. I read a few of my own poetries here. This one's called The Redwood Tree. I started my hike late in the day. As usually happens, there was always one more thing to do. But I think I can still do the whole rim trail. I walk fast as if pushed by the wake of the day. Yet the darkening does not wait. Halfway through, I come to the sign for the meadow trail. I remember it will take me directly back to the parking lot, saving me time, which is running out. It's okay, I think. There's an old friend there. It rises by itself in the middle of the brown summer grass of the meadow. Stopping in front of it, breathing hard, I step inside. Someone blind to the sacred has left wrappers and bottles here. The burned bark of this ancient redwood forgives them. I take a moment, then I too forget. I take out my phone and randomly shoot picture after picture. My mind travels to all the friends I can send them to. I pick up the trash. Stepping out, I see a glow on the horizon, although the sun has gone down. Some blue jays are squawking, as many birds do, just before settling down for the dark night. The phone is still in one hand. I click on the camera, thinking to take more shots of the outside of the tree. Accidentally, I flip the reverse and am shocked a little by my face. I take a selfie, eye in the tree. My feet don't want to go now. Turning, I put both hands on the soft bark, breathe the still air of dusk. Then hearing something, I look up and see a squirrel coming headfirst toward me. I don't move and he stops when he sees me. For a moment we are two living, live things staring at each other in wordless surprise. Then he turns and scampers back up. My eyes follow him until I see a slight pink in the sky above the top branches. Feeling my feet on the soft ground, for a moment I sense my real place between earth and heaven. Then I walk back to the parking lot, back into forgetfulness. Okay, that's what I have. This is called the gopher hole. Cat is looking intently at the hole where some minutes ago a gopher had appeared. It must have felt the cat. I've heard they are blind. Inevitably, cats' eyes begin to close. Sleep is never far away for cats. I put my pen down. My narrative is ducked underground like the gopher. Now my mind is running random thoughts, which is a kind of sleep. I feel some imagined scorn from the world. Shouldn't you be doing something useful instead of sitting here daydreaming? Suddenly a hummingbird appears, hovering. Cat's eyes open wide. He's all attention now. I remember why I'm addicted to being creative. It's when the ruby-throated idea appears. There's nothing like it. It's so worth the wait and a little self-judgment. Let's see. This one's called Will. Waking with an aching back, I see time is passing. Yet in my mind it's 1970 and I'm just graduating from high school. Some call it the Peter Pan effect. Yet I wouldn't want to be like the so-called adults. Their main obsession is controlling their environment. I would rather clamber over crumbling stone walls in order to see golden deer munching grass than build walls to protect my riches. Let me float down a river on an inner tube rather than build dams. Yet I do have something in common with my rich brethren. I am determined to understand will, only not my will, but thy will. And one more. Let's see. I went to a few things in this holiday season which are kind of ceremony based. I'm not always big on ceremony, but this is a ceremony I went to with a shaman leader down south of here. So I wrote this poem. The Four Directions. Walking a narrow, straight path through the meadow, sign... Wait, that's not right. That's not the one I thought I was reading. Oh, that's okay. This is kind of like a ceremony. All right. I got fooled by the title. The Four Directions. Walking a narrow, straight path through the meadow, signs say stay on the path, ecosystem being restored. I stay true until it widens into forest where I rest on a log by a creek. It's then I see my socks full of sticky little burrs. I try brushing them off, but they burrow deeper into cotton fabric. Impatient, I think I'll just throw them away like I've done before. The water gurgles like a meditation. I began picking off the burrs one by one. There's a crashing in the trees. I see just a glimpse of the deer before it disappears. Now I feel in step with the forest. In no hurry, I watch the water. It's dry California summer. There's only a trickle. Yellow bay leaves drift in circles. Water skeeters bounce between the rocks. Somewhere above me, a woodpecker's tap-tap resonates. This drumming stirs ancestral feeling in blood and bone. I recently discovered my tribe, Cheyenne, Plains people. There was a rumor in my family someone in our line married a native girl, but in days of shame it was hushed up. In my male line were many ministers, white starch collars standing in a straight line, back to pilgrim times. They feared their God, marching ahead, eyes forward. Imagine then a native girl, a girl who whose God loved the messy lines of nature, who observed the four directions as well as the vertical line from earth to heaven. Peering in the rippling water, I'd like to see her, bring her back, honor her, flowing in the blood like a warm wind, melting the icy ages of scorn. Above the creek an oak leaf dangles on a single spider's thread, grandmother spider. Let it fall in the rapids, be carried to a new old world, where that native girl is honored at the head of the line. I like that one. Alrighty, what do we got now? We got okay, I guess we lost Ellen. That's okay. She was having a hard time. Let's see. Oh, I'm looking for Glenda. You sent me something, right?
Yes, I did.
Let's see. Where are you? There you are. This is by Glenda Reed. It's called A Writer's Voice. I'm surrounded by silence every day, but when I read, I hear the voices of the authors. That is my soul. I ponder the path a writer takes, just to give me a light to show me the way, just to clear a trail for me to walk. And I walk alone, but still with companions, who've beckoned me forth with every word. I live in the worlds that they've made for me, more comfortable there than in my own. A passenger bound by imagined flight, a traveler lost in page after page. A writer writes to tell a tale, a reader reads to hear it told. Each line written is another line spoken, in the mind of one who wants to glean a message left perhaps decades before, but new today in the eyes of my soul. And I sink into the comfort of opening my book, co-owned by a writer who left me a spark. A flame from his mind leapt into mine, and blazed both a place as well as a thought, and coaxed me from the comfortable chair of words on a page from a writer's voice. Well, Glenda, beautiful as usual.
Thank
Yes, Glenda.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Julie.
Some beautiful lines in there. All righty. I guess we all know that, and I sink into the comfort of opening my book. Alrighty, now I got a little bit of time. I'll read a few poems here. This is by Neruda. He wrote a series of poems called Odes. O-D-E. I'm not sure what the definition of ode is, but anyway.
This means tale, like a tale of something.
Yeah, like a tale. That's true. An ode. Yeah. This is Ode to the Watermelon. The tree of intense summer is hard, is all blue sky, yellow sun, fatigue and drops, a sword above the highways, a scorched shoe in the cities, in brightness, and the world weighs us down, hits us in the eyes with clouds of dust, with sudden golden blows. They torture our feet with tiny thorns, with hot stones, and the mouth suffers more than all the toes. The throat becomes thirsty, the teeth, the lips, the tongue. We want to drink waterfalls, the dark blue night, the South Pole, and then there's the Spanish. The coolest of all, the planets crosses the sky, the round, magnificent, star-filled watermelon. It's a fruit from the thirst tree. It's the green whale of the summer. I like that, the green whale of the summer. The dry universe all at once, given dark stars by this firmament of coolness, lets the swelling fruit come down, its hemispheres open, showing a flag, green, white, red, that dissolves into the wild rivers. Sugar, delight, jewel box of water, phlegmatic queen of the fruit shops. The road is amazing with words. Warehouse of profundity, moon on earth. You are pure, rubies fall apart in your abundance, and we want to bite into you. To bury our face in you, in our hair and the soul. When we're thirsty, we glimpse you like a mine or a mountain of fantastic food. But among our longings and our teeth, you change simply into cool light that slips in turn into spring water that touches us once, singing. And that is why you don't weigh us down in the siesta hour. That's like an oven. You don't weigh us down. You just go by, and your heart, some cold ember, turned itself into a single drop of water. Mm-hmm. I ought to be a wordsmith like Neruda. Here's one by Rabindranath Tagore, an Indian fella. In autumn now at the spirit's door, who has come to stay? Oh, my heart, a song of joy, of delight, let us sing today. The silent words of the blue sky, of the sky's blue, the feverish eagerness of the dew, today upon your binyas, strings, let us all play. That's B-I-N-A. To the golden song of a field of grain, may our song add a like refrain, and down a river's full pure notes float on its way. Someone is here. Let our eyes rest with deep content on the face of the guest. As in new company out of doors, we wander and stray. Okay. Let's see, here's one by William Stafford. Some shadows. You would not want too reserved a speaker. That is a cold way to live. But where I come from, withdrawal is easy to forgive. When mother was a girl, Indians shadowed that country, the barren lands. Mother ran to school winter mornings with hot potatoes in her hands. People did used to do that in the old days. She was like this, foreign, a stranger. She could not hear very well. The world was all far. Were the others laughing? She could never tell. Later, though, she was frightened. She loved like everyone. A lean man, a cruel, took her. A lean man, a cruel, took her. I am his son. He was called Hawk by the town people. He was an ordinary man. He lived by trapping and hunting. Wherever the old slow ran. Our house is always quiet. Summers the windmill creaked, or a board. I carried wood, never touching anyone. Winters the black stove roared. Forgive me these shadows I cling to, good people, trying to hold quiet in my prologue. Hawks cling the barrens wherever I live. The world says dog eat dog. I thought he was talking about his father, but I think he was just making up a family. Maybe an Indian native family. Actually, here's one about his father. I think his father was part Native American. My father, October 1942. He picks up what he thinks is a road map, and it is his death. He holds it easily, and nothing can take it from his firm hand. The pulse in his thumb on the map says 1:19 p.m. next Tuesday at this intersection, and an ambulance begins to throb while his face looks tired. Anytime anyone may pick up something so right that he can't put it down. That is the problem for all who travel. They fatally own whatever is really theirs. And that is the inner thread, the lock, what can hold. If it is to be, nothing breaks it. Millions of observers kiss all the time, but each person once can say, sure. Then he's no longer an observer. He isn't right or wrong. He just wins or loses. Well, I'm afraid that one lost me. Oh well. Usually he's simpler than that. Oh well. Okay. So much for William Stafford.
I think when he said, you don't about right and wrong, I think he's trying to say that if you win or lose doesn't really mean anything. If doesn't mean that you were right or wrong. If you win or lose, it doesn't have anything to do with being right or wrong.
Okay. I'm afraid I lost the page, so I don't know where I was. Yeah. But that's probably a good interpretation. Let's see. Sometimes when I'm reading, I don't follow along too well, and sometimes I do. But that was a difficult one to read somehow. Okay, here's one by Jane Kenyon.
For instance, the wrong person won the election.
Yeah. Well, half the people agree with you. The right half agree with you. Let's see. Oh, this is Jane Kenyon. Let's see. I think this will be okay. Homesick. My clothes and hair smell stale. And more than once, I have slept on my coat on trains that crash past isolated stations where magnolias bloom all night beside dusty platform benches. Twice I bought dried fish rolled in cellophane, thinking it was pastry. Leaving the pebbled Buddhist garden, Such a dreadful languor overtook me. I could hardly step over the threshold. The monks were eating bean curd, fixed 11 different ways, and drinking bowls of frothy, bitter green tea. Oh, my bed and the dear dust under it. Bath towels that don't smell like miso soup. My own little dog, one ear up and one ear down. And a speaker of English, the teller at the village bank, who never asked to see my passport. Yes, I'll say, we had a wonderful time. We slept on pillows filled with cottonseed, ate cuttlefish, dried squid, and black bean paste, and drank pink laurel wine. I wonder where she was. Japan? Maybe. Now that one I could follow. I'll read one more of hers. Summer, 6 a.m. From the shadowy upstairs bedroom of my mother-in-law's house in Hamden, I hear the neighbors' children waking. Ah, says the infant, not unhappily. Yes, 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 replies the toddler to his mother, who must have forbidden something. It is hot already at this hour, and the houses are wholly open. If she is cross with the child, anyone with ears will hear. The slap of sprinkler water hits the sidewalk and street, and the husband's delicate footfalls receding down the drive. His Japanese sedan matches the house, beige-brown. Yesterday he washed it, his arm thrust deep into something that looked like a sheepskin oven mitt. His wife had put the babies in the shallow plastic wading pool, and she took snapshots, trying to repeatedly get both boys to look. The older one's wail rose and matched the pitch of the cicada in a nearby tree. Why? Oh, I thought that was the end of it. Why is the sound of a spoon on a plate next door a thing so desolate? I think of the woman pouring a glass of juice for the 3-year-old and watching him spill it, knowing he must spill it, seeing the ineluctable downward course of the orange-pink liquid, the puddle swell on the kitchen floor beside the child's shoe.
Is that the end of it?
That was the end of it. I wonder why she became desolate listening to all that. Oh, well. I think she might have been a little bit of a depressive Jane. Alrighty. My computer says I'm running out of time. No. Let's see. Oh, I bought a book by Gary Schneider the other day. Schneider was kind of a Zen poet. Read a few of his, then some Mary, and then we'll be done. Sky sand. Cottonwoods, stream bank, splashing, fording up the creek bed. Black Phoebe calling, pee, pee, pee. Here, 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 near. Mexican Blackhawk cruising, squint at the sky. Shoes full of sand. Mimulus on the road to town. Out of cracks in the road cut, rock walls. Clumps of peach-colored mimulus spread and bloom, stiffly quiver in the hot log truck breeze blast, always going by. They never die. This is called a tercel is a young male hawk. Falconers used to believe that the third hawk egg in a clutch would be a male. So they call a young male hawk a tercel from Tertius third. Who knows why car makers make their cars the way they do? Where did that come from? Taking the gas cap off, stick it with my work vest pocket. I see a silver tercel parked by a hedge and a waste bin full of bottles. And then there's a dash and it says, filling my old Toyota pickup. I see. The Japanese car is called a tercel.
Hmm.
Okay, one more by him. Brighter yellow. An Ozark trucking big rig pulls up to me in the freeway. Such a vivid yellow. A brighter yellow than bulldozers. This morning, James Lee Job was talking of the wild bluebonnets and the dark red Indian paintbrush down in Texas. Said from a distance, them growing all together makes a field of solid purple. Hey, keep on the right side of that yellow line. All right, let's see, we better do some Mary and then get out of here. Let's see. Let's see, this is titled How the Grass and the Flowers Came to Exist, a God Tale. I suppose, the Lord said, let there be fur upon the earth, and let there be hair upon the earth. And so the seeds stuttered forward into ripeness, and the roots twirled in the dark to accomplish his desire. And so there is clover, and the reeds on the marshes, and the eelgrass of the sea shallows, upon which the dainty sea brant live. And there is the green and sturdy grass of the goldenrod, and the spurge, and the yellow, and the yarrow, and the ivies, and the bramble, and the blue iris, covering the earth, thanking the Lord with their blossoms. And one last one of hers. You are standing at the edge of the woods. You are standing at the edge of the woods at twilight when something begins to sing like a waterfall, pouring down through the leaves. It is the thrush, and you are just sinking into your own thoughts, taking in the sweetness of it. Those chords, those pursed twirls, when you hear, out of the same twilight, the wildest red outcry. It pitches itself forward, it flails and scabs all the surrounding space with such authority. You can't tell whether it is crying out on the scarp of victory with its hooked foot dabbed into some creature that now with a snapped spine lies on the earth, or whether it is such a struck body itself saying goodbye. The thrush is silent then, or perhaps has flown away. The dark grows darker. The moon in its shining white blouse rises, and whatever that wild cry was, it will always remain a mystery. You have to go home now and live with sometimes sometimes with the ease of music and sometimes in silence for the rest of your life. All right, Julie and Glenda, I'm going to sign off here. I hope you have a lovely week in the new year. Yeah,
I hope you change your calendar next week.
Oh, I have one right over there. I do have a January calendar. Yeah, I have one that's mushrooms.
Oh, cool.
Oh boy. Nice to be with both of you. Have a great week.
All right,
You
Julie,
too.
you too have
Love.
a great day. You too, Glenda. All right, goodbye, both of you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.